Hey everyone, it's Andrea from Popcorn Horror, and today we're going to be looking at the Curse of Frankenstein in a new feature we've called Horror History 101.
Good evening. Do you know any good monsters? Well, Hammer Films are looking for one. They're making Frankenstein and the Monster. It's a remake of that picture which made Boris Karloff a star about 25 years ago. It's going to be made in England in colour and CinemaScope, and Hammer Films want a monster. Any suggestions?
The first adaptation of Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein was all the way back in 1910. The short was made by the Edison Film Company and would be the first of literally hundreds of films to feature the man-made monster. However, the first adaptation to be made in colour was The Curse of Frankenstein, released in 1957 by Hammer Film Productions. Horror fans now know exactly what to expect from a Hammer film, but although the studio had produced smaller scale projects for television, this was their first major film project. Production began on the 19th of November 1956 at Hammer's famous Bray Studios in England with a budget of just £65,000. In the 1950s, the trend in monsters was to draw influence from the events of World War II and fears surrounding the possibility of space travel. The Curse of Frankenstein reintroduced horror fans of the 50s to traditional Gothic stories. Peter Cushing was sought out by Hammer to play the scientist Victor Frankenstein because of his reputation for playing the villain in BBC productions. Christopher Lee, on the other hand, who played the monster, was not well known at the time and was hired because he was cheap. Although Shelley's novel was in the public domain, Universal Pictures threatened a lawsuit if Hammer used any elements of their version starring Boris Karloff. This is the main reason that Hammer shot the film in colour. Originally, the monster would have more closely resembled Karloff's portrayal, but this had to be completely reworked. Makeup artist Philip Leakey failed to create the monster makeup using a cast of Lee's head. The day before shooting began, he tested the makeup seen in the film directly onto Lee's face. The monster is mostly constructed from tissue, cotton, and other household materials, and had to be recreated from scratch every day. The Curse of Frankenstein was not actually the first film Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing had worked on together, though it was the first time they'd worked together closely. It was on the set of this film that they established a close friendship, and would quote lines from Looney Tunes together during breaks in filming. While by today's standards the film is not really shocking, it caused controversy on its release. It was rare to see severed body parts, medical procedures, and splurting blood in this era, and this was the first time audiences had seen blood on screen in colour. Despite the controversy, The Curse of Frankenstein was a huge success, earning around 70 times its budget and launching the success of Hammer and the careers of Lee and Cushing. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed this retrospective look at The Curse of Frankenstein. Follow us on YouTube for more horror content and tell us which horror movies you want us to look at next time on Horror History 101.